The following is the text of the two speeches, exactly as given by Shakespeare. Brutus, be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent, that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is there so rude that would be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is there so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply. All. None, Brutus, none. Brutus. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offences enforced, for which he suffered death. Enter Mark Antony with Caesar's body. Here comes his body mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his day, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. All, live Brutus, live, live. First citizen, bring him with a triumph home and to his house. Second citizen, give him a statue with his ancestors. Third citizen, let him be Caesar. Fourth citizen, Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus. First citizen, we will bring him to his house with shouts and clamors. Brutus, my countrymen. Second citizen, peace, silence. Brutus speaks. First citizen, peace. Oh, Brutus, good countryman, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke. Exit. First citizen, stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony. Third citizen, let him go up into the public chair. We will hear him. Noble Antony, go up. Antony, for Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you. Goes up to the rostrum. Fourth citizen, what does he say of Brutus? Third citizen, he says, For Brutus's sake, he finds himself beholding to us all. Fourth citizen, it were best he speaks no harm of Brutus here. First citizen, this Caesar was a tyrant. Third citizen, nay, that is certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him. Second citizen, peace. Let us hear what Antony can say. Antony, you gentle Romans. All, peace. Oh, let us hear him. Antony, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus had told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it, here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal. I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me, my heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. First citizen, methinks there is much reason in his sayings. Second citizen, if thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong. Third citizen, has he, masters? I fear there will be a worse come in his place. Fourth citizen, mark you his words. He would not take the crown. Therefore it is certain he was not ambitious. First citizen, if it be found so, some will dare abide it. Second citizen, poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping. Third citizen, there is not a nobler man in Rome than Antony. Fourth citizen, now mark him, he begins again to speak. Antony, but yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. It is his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, Yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue. Fourth citizen, we will hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony. All. The will. We will hear Caesar's will. Antony, how patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. It is good you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it? Fourth citizen, read the will. We will hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will, Caesar's will. Antony, will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable man whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it. Fourth citizen, they were traitors, honorable men. All, the will, the testament. Second citizen, they were villains, murderers. The will, read the will. Antony, you will compel me then to read the will, then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? And will you give me leave? All, come down. Second citizen, descend. Third citizen, you shall have leave. Antony comes down. Fourth citizen, a ring, stand round. First citizen, stand from the hearse, stand from the body. Second citizen, room for Antony, most noble Antony. Antony, nay, press not so upon me, stand far off. All, stand back, room, bear back. Antony, if you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, and rushing out of doors, to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him starve, ingratitude, more strong than traitors' arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops, kind souls. What? Weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded. Look you here. Here is himself marred, as you see with the traitors. First citizen, oh piteous spectacle. Second citizen, oh noble Caesar, Third citizen, oh, woeful day. Fourth citizen, oh, traitors, villains. First citizen, oh, most bloody sight. Second citizen, we will be revenged. All revenge about, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay, let not a traitor live. Antony, stay, countryman. First citizen, peace there. Hear the noble Antony. Second citizen, we will hear him. We will follow him. We will die with him. Antony, good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not. That made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no writer, as Brutus is, but, as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves know. So you see Caesar's wounds, poor, dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits, and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. All, we will mutiny. First citizen, we will burn the house of Brutus. Third citizen, away then, come, seek the conspirators. Antony, yet hear me, countryman, you hear me speak. All, peace, oh, hear Antony, most noble Antony. Antony, why, friends, you go to do you know not what, wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then, you have forgotten the will I told you of. Almost true, the will. Let us stay and hear the will. Antony, here is the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Second citizen, most noble Caesar, we will revenge his death. Third citizen, O royal Caesar. Antony, hear me with patience. All, peace, oh, Antony. Moreover, he hath left you all his works, his private arbits, and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you unto your heirs forever, common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another? First citizen, never, never, come, away, we will burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands fire the traitors' houses. Take up the body. Second citizen, go fetch fire. Third citizen, pluck down benches. Fourth citizen, pluck down forms, windows, anything. Exeunt citizens with the body. Antony, now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.